Well, I guess the first question is, did Guelph kind of perform as expected tonight? We saw a couple of very, very tight sets.
We knew we were going to be a battle. Last time we played them, I think it went 5 in Guelph, back and forth, tight sets like that. Yeah, kind of those first 2 sets really could have gone either way. And then you think about that third set, we were down big to start. I think it was 7-1 or something, not looking good. And the guys fought back, and then we started to at least control the match a little bit, which was important for us.
Do you find it more difficult to keep the team motivated when there's a very tight loss, like we saw in the second set where it was just by 2 points, or when they're down by those substantial numbers?
Good question. We talk a lot in timeouts and technical timeouts about keeping their composure and keeping they like to celebrate a lot, and then they kind of they lose the focus of what a great match, Mike, great match. They lose focus a little bit, especially when we're up in that 4th set. Like, I was never comfortable, and I'm trying to tell them and relay that in the huddle. It turned out fine, but I was never comfortable, and I hope they're not, because look at the girls' match. Like, I was looking at 24-19, I'm going, no, and it turned out fine for us.
What do you think the big differentiating factors were between the set that you guys lost and the set that you won by a substantial amount at the end there?
We started to pass consistently in serve receive, and they couldn't stop Mike. Hoya was on fire. Every time I signal to the setter going, set him. And then they tried to defend that, and he still scored. So he's our best player, and if he shows up like that, he's got to be our best player, or we're in trouble. Job hook.
Now that you've picked up kind of the last 2 wins, what does the team need to do to really keep this going?
McMaster's going to be tough. Who's kidding here? They're #1 team in the country. They could be one of the best teams in North America, for that matter, at the collegiate level. They're very competitive. They're hurt right now, so we're not sure what lineup they'll bring, but even with their second string, they're very, very good. So we're going to come out hard at them and get better is our goal. Regardless of what happens on the floor, we're not giving in, and we're going to fight, and we're going to improve tomorrow is our goal.
Did you feel prepared for what Guelph brought to the court today?
Yeah, I think so. It's always nice to be rewarded in these settings for all the hard work we put into practices and in the weight room. At this level, any win is definitely of huge value and significance to us. Bit of a dry spell the past couple of games, and in this league, aside from McMaster, at least anyone can really jump out ahead of you. So definitely taking a positive vibe away from this win.
On the floor, did you notice a difference in kind of the feeling of the first few sets, and especially the last set where you guys were able to come off with a very big win?
A little bit, a little shift in the mentality, I thought, where at the start when it's anyone's game, it's difficult to play well in those settings. We managed to kind of pull out on the other side, and then once we were up 2-1, it's a little easier with the momentum behind us to loosen up, take a little more risks, and then that probably led to our bigger gap in the 4th set.
You mentioned that the team had just kind of come out of a little bit of a dry spell. How important is it to get 2 consecutive wins on the books, especially in front of a home crowd?
Huge. Like I said, any team can really jump out at you. It's hard to gauge the sort of games that are for sure wins or must wins, really. So we try and treat every game like it's a must-win situation. So that way we value success afterwards much more.